famous love stories in literature, you know, have often been misunderstood. Okay, because they are so compelling, we are told to measure or benchmark or compare our loves or our love life. Okay, compared it with them. Now we are told to admire them, to long for them. But love stories in literature are not meant to be instructions for true love, or real not true love, real love. They are just meant, you know, to give us insights. So my fascinating Renaissance friends, there comes a point in our life, not usually happening, when we are young, but now in our season of life, in the autumn of our life, that we simply refuse or stop rushing towards package answers, sound bites, quotes from from great movies, but we are more quietly thinking of better questions, so we get to know more, okay, about living wisely and well. And this YouTube channel that I have created in 2024, year 2024, okay, is a space for those types of conversations. So together we are, discussing life as it really is, not fantasy, not illusion, okay, and accepting the fact that life is complex, okay, but it's beautiful and it is unfinished because it is still unfolding. Okay? Not because we would like to dictate people, how you people, must live your life, but it's really to encourage you to look deeper into how life is unfolding for you and how it is making you a better person. So, welcome, my fascinating Renaissance friends, to my season of life, 60 years and beyond. And this is Malu Cervantes, your life coach, your mentor, your fellow sojourner in the autumn of our life. And welcome to episode 169. Okay, so today I would like to revive three great love stories from literature, and let's see what we can learn from them. The first one, always, when you talk about love, you talk about who? Romeo and Juliet. Oh, Romeo and Juliet. Okay. First, some trivia about them. Juliet in the story of Shakespeare is 13 years old. A 13-year-old girl. She's a girl. She's not a woman. She's a girl. And Romeo is probably 16 to 17, 16 or 17, years old. He's not a man. He's a boy. Okay. So they come from warring families. Just like the elites, you have this versus this, warring. Okay, the Montagues and the Capulets. Unfortunately, one of them from each of these warring family fell in love with each other, Romeo and Juliet. And of course, you know what happened? Their families tried to separate them. They tried to do everything. And because they're so young and they could not process, their answer is simply to die. In short, to commit suicide. It was a suicide pact. Okay, I think if I'm not mistaken, Juliet, died first, and then Romeo saw that she's dead, so she killed himself. Okay, and it is given to you as a beautiful but tragic love story. Really? Okay. The love can be intense. The love could be sincere. But their ages tell you that this is not quite so, because they love in haste. Okay, love is not impulsive, but because of their age, it was never meant to endure. Okay, even if they're pictured as the ultimate lovers. Okay, they did not learn. Okay, from each other. They had no time to learn from each other. They had no time to grow with each other, had no time to process, okay, the learning so that it can be enduring. So that's love. That's not really true love. It's loving in haste, in impulsiveness, okay? So love that is not based on reality is not going to be permanent. So in fact, neuroscience, affirms this. Neuroscience says that, at 21, in fact, it's 21 years old. At 21, the prefrontal cortex side of the brain, which is tasked with effective decision making and executive function of critical thinking, okay, 25 and below is not well developed. So you cannot make long term effective decisions, like enduring love. If you're 21 and below, these lovers 13, 16, Okay, so basically, 23 is beginning to be developed. So when you make decisions, long-term decisions, okay, with long-term consequences after age 23, it has better, those decisions have better chances of being effective and long-term. Okay, that's what we learn. Okay. Hmm. So there's another, couple in literature. I used to really say, "Whoa, what great love!" It's a novel by Emily Bront, Wuthering Heights. I think it is made in a movie, starring Jacob Elordi from Frankenstein. He's the creature in Frankenstein. I think Netflix is showing that. Not right. That guy there. I think he's 6'5". Jacob Elordi is starring there, and from Barbie, Margot something. Robin. Okay, that one, that lady. Okay, it's a story between Catherine and Heathcliff. Wuthering Heights, Catherine and Heathcliff. Okay, Catherine is from the elite, and Heathcliff, the character Heathcliff, was an orphan from the lower class. So there you already have the socio-economic class. Okay, they fell in love, but Catherine was forced to marry somebody from her class, okay, from her social class, even though they were so in love. And so Heathcliff, okay, turned into what, a revengeful person, destroying everything that they both love, because he became consumed and obsessed, okay, by the love for Catherine. Really profoundly destructive. Okay, that their love for each other is fierce, according to the story, fierce, compulsive, and very destructive, because Heathcliff went into a killing rampage, killed, everybody who he thought took Catherine away from him. Okay, it's just really passion without restraint. Okay, so, but really, if you study it, Catherine and Heathcliff do not love each other. They actually mirror each other's wounds. Okay, they have wounds in their childhood. They translated it into an intense love, but that's not love. How can true love, turn into destruction? You destroy everybody that supposedly you love. Okay, so intensity is not intimacy. I understand that the movie is supposed to have very intense sex scenes to portray that their love is so intense. No, intensity is not intimacy. This is not romance according to, it is emotional captivity. All right. They couldn't really see beyond the feelings that bordered into lust. Okay. So we see intensity without restraint can be very, very destructive. Okay. So the last story in literature is entitled "The Last of the Mohicans." Okay, it's this was also turned into a movie, "The Last of the Mohicans." Okay, it's a classic novel with the backdrop of the French and American War. I saw this movie when I was very young, and it actually made an impact on me. It is the story between Hawkeye, okay, who is a white man, and Cora, who is also a white man, but he was taken hostage by an invading army. And and Hawkeye was adopted by a Native American tribe, the Mohicans. And when Cora was being taken hostage, he told her, and this is what I cannot forget. I actually remember it. He says, "I will find you no matter where you are. I will find you no matter how long it takes. I will find you." It's very, very romantic. It's very, very powerful. But you see, this is love with restraint. This is a quieter kind of love, but a committed. There is no intensity that borders into lust. There is no impulsiveness. There is no destruction there. It is a promise that no matter what happens, okay, the man will find his love. And he found her, by the way. After so many years, he found her and he took her home to his tribe. So, the deepest loves, okay, are the ones that ask us to become better people, as shown here, you know, by Hawkeye and Cora in The Last of the Mohicans. Okay? So, perhaps these stories, okay, endure not because only of the quiet love that they have, but because of the lessons we have learned. Okay, so my fascinating Renaissance friends, let's continue the conversation, right? And let us be enriched as we go along. All right? So this is Malu Cervantes, your coach, your life coach, your fellow sojourner. Together we are navigating this autumn of our life. And until then, may you continue to age gracefully, age wisely, and age elegantly. Goodbye.